The human mind is like an alternate reality that always catches us by surprise. When we are thinking so much that we vanish for a few seconds without even noticing. What if this place we go to, even if just for seconds, took the physical shape of a nostalgic place, but now empty, and if you stare at it for too long, echoes a scream. He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. Nietzsche, 1086. Hi Lilacs, my name is Stephen Ray, what is yours? And I really wanted to talk a little about liminal spaces, the backrooms, and my entire vision of this phenomenon. I know this is a concept that almost everyone on the internet has already seen. We already have a movie, which I don't know if it's already out by the time I'm posting this video, but either way, if you want to know a bit about how I pen this world on my canvas, then come quickly Alice, for we are down in another rabbit hole. Liminal spaces are those that, if ignored, simply become invisible, yet our subconscious holds into them like a small keepsake in a memory's heart-shaped box. When we see an image of a place so forgettable, but now looking with careful eyes, we realize how blind we were to spaces that formed so many moments of our lives. Spaces that were in the background of a difficult moment, or one we cherish, like a painting of birds in the sky where only the birds are removed, leaving nothing but a blank canvas. In the Silent Hill franchise, even those that step away from the psychological premises will notice how the gameplay is built entirely out of alleyways, abandoned highways, and streets completely covered in dead colors. Something that, without context, would just be ordinary backgrounds. But in every game's plot, we are placed into intimidate even philosophical narratives about human conflict and all the dirty things we avoid facing. And this interconnects with the backgrounds because if, with a single step, you are taken to this quiet and empty reality and forced to walk its labyrinths, who is to say you fell into it just by chance? Like a purgatory without the look of one, you are stripped of all distractions. No sound of car wheels, no humanity recognized, no TV aesthetic, just a living hell and the constant beating of your heart, which will never stop, either you want it to or not. According to the rules on the Backrooms wiki, when you are in them, you do not suffer for human needs like hunger or thirst. Time does not affect you, not even waiting to grow old will bring an end to the torment.
This makes no sense.
What if the abyss or the burden you have carried your entire life, a trauma, a regret, or life itself, are things you swept into the rug so much that their traces have formed a giant pill in the middle of your living room. And this horror now screams, begging to be faced head-on. Like a divine intervention, you are invited to enter a place where no one knows if it is in another universe, under the earth, or inside your own head.
It doesn't even hurt anymore.
And like James arriving in Silent Hill 2, you're shaking hands holding the ladder. Looking at the distant mountains and the fog that covers them.
It's hot as hell in here.
Your eyes recognize that something happened there.
You see it too. For me, it's always like this.
but your mind forces itself to avoid it and pretend not to know the reason for your return.
She's not here.
But everything around you, the abandoned places filled with webs and narrows, the monsters made of familiar flesh. No, you were not chosen by chance. Purgatory does not condemn angels who merely play in the Garden of Eden, but those who eat the apple and, in their pockets, keep it as remains. Reality for many philosophers like Plato is a split. Hysteria of the sensible world being the physical malleable one, and the world of the ideas behaving like a mirror to our world, but reflecting in a perfect and immutable way. In the Netflix series Alice in Wonderland, our protagonists Chuda, Karubi, and Arisu are running through the center of Shibuya, messing around like good friends. Until their mess caused 2-car accident. Nothing serious, but while running from the police, Shuda noticed fireworks in the sky. Driven by the adrenaline, they barely noticed it and just hide in a restroom. After a few hours, everything goes dead silent. Phones lose their signal and they enter in the world of Borderland. I built all this context because later in the series we find out that a meteor hit the grounded area where they were, and as a result, everyone there is gravely injured and enters in the edge between life and death. The world of Borderland acts as a sort of trial to see whether you will survive or not. While you are there, your body enters in a coma, and if you die there, your body also dies in what we call the real world. At the very end, in the limbo of waking up from the coma, the final response that decides the end, Arisu and other characters agree to wake up. But others simply refuse and accept a home in the world, becoming its citizens, inhabiting the habits that to them wasn't a bad thing. After all, perhaps one day everyone will go there anyway, before leaving behind all the crossroads that keep them from death. Like a wave that, upon reaching its peak, simply breaks and returns to the ocean. Maybe we go back to being ideas, or imitators of the infinite and empty labyrinths, where we think we are standing for the very first time. If the silence echoes louder while you watch this video, know that the damp carpet and the yellow walls invite you to meet your own, and no matter how fast you run, it will always reach you.